Hey everyone, what's going on? Bahroo here, and today I've got another Best in Slot. In this series, we like to take a look at the bunch of different weapons of a particular weapon type and see which ends up being the best of the best and just which ones didn't make the cut. And in this one, we're going to be taking a look at sniper rifles. I do apologize for the delay on the sniper rifle video. Unfortunately, for those who are not aware, I had to take a trip down to Texas for family-related issues, so I do apologize for the delay, but it is finally here now, so let's go ahead and take a look at all of the different snipers. But before we do that, I just want to thank you all again for the massive support you have shown for this series. It has been absolutely insane. I will make sure to continue this in the pre-sequel, but as I said, let's just go ahead and jump into the first one. So let's go ahead, start with number 5. And coming in at number 5, we have the Invader. Now, as this is a Hyperion sniper rifle, its base damage is pretty low, and its hip fire leaves basically everything to be desired. One thing to note about this sniper rifle in particular, though, is that its fire rate lies to you. Its fire rate is only if you are hip firing the gun. If you aim down sights with this thing, you will be doing approximately 7 rate of fire. And when we go over to Badmall, you will see that the fire rate is a lot faster than what it shows on the card here. Now, it does take quite a few shots to finish him off, but it does pretty decent damage considering it is number 5 spot. It does take 2 phase locks to kill him, but overall, it's not a bad sniper rifle. Also, totally calculated that I would be able to kill him on the last bullet. 100% intentional. Anyway, the parts that you're going to want on this Invader is going to be a Hyperion grip and a dull stock. Dull stocks are going to be pretty much on every sniper rifle because they do massively reduce your recoil. And for sight, it's up to personal preference of how much zoom you want. And then for the prefix, if you're not using a B and you just want pure DPS, go for fire rate. If you are using a B, I would recommend critical because that will help you with more amp damage. Anyway, with that all the way, let's go ahead and jump into number 4. And coming up at number 4 is the Pitchfork. Now, you'll notice that the Pitchfork only slightly beats out the Invader, and that is because in my DPS tests, I put this as only 2 pellets actually hitting. The reason I did this is that you're going to be hard-pressed to find any enemy in the game where you can get 3 or more to actually crits. The spread on the Pitchfork does not change based on your distance, so even if you are near point blank, the spread is still fairly wide. And as we go to Badmall, even though I'm hitting dead center on his crit spot there, only maybe 2, potentially a 3rd body shot is actually hitting. And if you'll notice, the DPS test does kind of match our numbers as we saw here. Obviously, if we went up against something like Terramorphous, we could get all of the pellets to hit, but it's just, it's good in theory, but not in actual practice. Overall, not a bad sniper rifle, but you can definitely find better ones. Now, as for parts, this is a dull weapon, so naturally you're going to want a dull grip and a dull stock, because this will make +1 to the fire, to the burst fire count, and you're going to want fire rate for overall DPS, but it's really not that big of a deal on the prefix. And again, sights are up to personal preference. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into number 3 now. And coming in at number 3, we have the Droog. This is not a unique sniper rifle, but instead just a basic purple Vladov sniper rifle. And as we can see, even though it's not even a unique, it does a fairly high amount of damage compared to the Pitchfork. So we're going to go ahead and go over to our DPS test here, and you can see that this thing just drops Badmall in just a matter of seconds, and it gets to the point where I was feeling like maybe I should increase Badmall's health just to make him feel a little bit better, but no, the Droog is definitely not a bad sniper rifle. As far as parts, you're going to want a Vladov barrel. Again, sight is purely up to you, and you're going to also want Vladov grip and a dull stock. For prefix, again, we go fire rate, and the prefix in general really is up to you. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into number 2 now. And now coming in at number 2, we have the Pimpernel. That's right, this thing isn't the strongest, or rather, it is the highest single shot sniper. So if we were going for the highest single shot sniper, the Pimpernel would win hands down. But unfortunately, we are going for DPS here, so that is going to be held by another sniper. But the Pimpernel has a very high learning curve around it. If you can find the sweet spot, you can hit these numbers that you see on the DPS chart. It is very possible. However, I am not the greatest at hitting this sweet spot on Badmall, so I do apologize. The Pimpernel is a very strong weapon regardless, however, so don't overlook that. And if we combine a B with the Pimpernel, keep in mind that this thing hits approximately 15 times or so if we account for Splash also getting amp. So that will, if we combined it with a B, it would be getting times 15 amp, and that is just absolutely ridiculous on a sniper rifle. So it does have a very high potential, a very high learning curve around it. However, there is one more sniper that beats it out. But before we go to that, the parts that you're going to want on this, on the Pimpernel, is going to be a Malawan grip, a dull stock. Sight, again, is up to personal preference. And as far as prefixes go, I feel like this is another one of those things that's just up to personal preference. A lot of people like barking, which is the damage. Others go rate of fire. It's really up to you. However, I wouldn't say critical is that important for a Pimpernel. But anyway, with that all the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the number 1 sniper rifle. And now for the number 1 sniper rifle. I'm sure a lot of people guessed it. It is the Lyuda. Now, the Lyuda has DPS to almost rival the Interfacer. This thing is absolutely insane. You saw what the Droog did to Badmall. This is basically that, but with 2 extra projectiles and some extra passive criticals. And this does have a sweet spot to go along with it, but it is not as punishing as, say, the Pimpernel, and its overall DPS is much higher. But I want to preface that by saying, overall DPS, the Lyuda wins. Damage per shot, the Pimpernel wins. These are 2 different types of DPS measurements. For the top 5, I go by DPS, so obviously if we go damage per shot, the Pimpernel would win. But anyway, if we go over to our Badmall fight, it honestly took me longer setting up the sweet spot than it did to actually kill him. And yeah, we can see he just drops dead in just a couple of seconds. As far as parts, you're going to want a Vladov's grip, a dull stock. Sight, again, is up to preference, and I like to go with rate of fire. But again, prefix is mostly up to you on this. Outside of things like mag size, I wouldn't really go for mag size, considering the mag on the Lyuda is already good. But that is going to go ahead and wrap up the top 5 sniper rifles. I would like to thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button, help support me in what I do. And I just want to let you guys know that there will be one more video coming out next week for the Best in Slot series, and that is going to be called Worst in Slot. A lot of you have been asking for that type of series, and I will be adding it in. Until then, after that, we'll be waiting until the pre-sequel to bring this back, unless I find, or maybe I'll do an honorable mentions. You guys let me know what you would like to see. And yeah, I want to thank you all again for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed this. And to end the video, I'm gonna end you with a certain gun that people said that was gonna be on the list for the top 5 as kind of like the Unforgiven. Anyway, I will catch you guys in the next video. Later. The Godfinger only makes the top 5 if I hit it from all the way over here.